etc., etc. Freedom for religion for Virginia. Yet here is the dilemma. Here is the crux, ladies and gentlemen. In several weeks' time, this first revolutionary body will be dissolved. They will return home. They will be left to some other duly elected body to continue to forward the march of revolution. And history, rather than being a single linear line, ladies and gentlemen, is a drudge through the mire of human nature. Constant fear of doubling back the paths we have walked before. And so, myself and another gentleman on the Committee for Religion believe here now at this moment of invention, something else is necessary. A scheme was launched yesterday evening by myself and Mr. Thomas Jefferson, a scheme in which you, my dear friends, are essential in. Now, we determined yesterday evening over our first bottle of wine what was necessary for Virginia. A bill put forth in Committee of the Whole to disestablish the church, end these various taxes and contributions, and in sum, declare man's mind openly free. Over our second bottle of wine, we determined how we would do so. We would get a prominent member of the legislature to sponsor such a bill. None other than the author of our Declaration of Rights, George Mason. Over our third bottle of wine, we determined how we would do it. Assemble here in this grove with an enlightened group of the city, and you are enlightened, are you not?
No.
Yes.
No.
And finally, therein, over our fourth bottle of wine, we decided ultimately what appeals and arguments we would make. I with philosophy, Mr. Jefferson
For
with
wine.
law, and over our final bottle of wine,
5 bottles of wine.
Mr. Jefferson was speaking Anglo-Saxon and I was speaking Greek. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you see the traffic into which you now find yourselves the most conspicuous of players within. So what then is required of you? It is simply this. I request that you conjure your mind. Conjure the intellect which has so often marked your good decision. To bring with you your curiosities, your thoughts, your questions. Because make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, there will come a time where we will fatigue of talking and will depend upon your intellects to ensure the truth will ultimately persevere. Now, may I count upon you for this?
Yes. No.
Oh, God. Once more, may I count upon you for this?
Yes.
That'll have to do. Ladies and gentlemen, with your assistance and indeed some help by my own intellect, we may yet see success in this endeavor, free religion, and ultimately stir Colonel Mason to action. Mr. Jefferson, sir, I was just speaking of you, sir.
Good day, James. I apologize for my tardiness. I was indeed on the green, the front lawn of the palace there, with Mr. Dr. Bland, looking at this strange eclipse.
Dear Thomas, I'm over here. Where? Right here, sir.
I cannot see you, sir.
Thomas, there I am. I'm very pleased that you and Mr. Bland met. I'm happy he used his telescope to spy the proper things rather than the heavenly bodies he so often uses his telescope to look at.
Saturn and whatnot, yes?
Yes.
Mr. Madison, after last night's several bottles of wine, I am wondering why we've set this meeting for so early in the day.
Thomas, it is afternoon.
It does not appear. I'm quite in need of a nap, sir.
It is said gentlemen act out of their character when suns are blotted from the sky, and yet, Mr. Jefferson, you have ever been a purveyor of naps.
Aye, but today, perhaps we might not see the sun blotted from the sky, but rather shone new. That we might indeed call for this freedom for all men to practice their religion. Now, an army moves on its stomach, and I indeed understand that statesmen move upon alcohol. I have provided...
Oh, Thomas, take the pass there. You're going to injure yourself.
Nay, never let a fence stand between myself and liberty. Never let a barrier stand betwixt myself and a dear friend, the mighty James Madison.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Jefferson.
James Madison,
I'm not Patrick Henry.
Now, Mr. Jefferson,
Thomas
sir, I
Jefferson,
have
James
acquainted
Madison.
Our kind friends ultimately with the task before us, convincing Colonel Mason to put forth this bill. I suspect even now at present he limps this way. So with the moment we have, perhaps we review our plan of attack that we might ensure confidence as we approach our plan.
As I recall, I believe it was over our fourth bottle of wine, sir, last evening. The plan was to unfold in two ways, two prongs. I approaching first, and you approaching then second, rounding him, turning his opinion to our opinion towards total detachment. I would first speak of the common law, the necessity for further codification and protection of the rights of the people through jurisprudence. And then you, sir, would say...
Yes, Mr. Jefferson, in more sober reasoning, I must wonder if this is a faulty path to take. It would be